the Sam Tavarez podcast, talking sports, movies, and everything else you could possibly imagine. And now, here's Sam doing his Sam things.
And a special good evening to all of you. I am recording this podcast on Monday, December 28th, 2020. Hope you're all having a wonderful holiday break. Hopefully, you had a nice holiday on Friday. And this is the first of two episodes that I will be releasing back to back. I decided to do this after the news on Sunday night that the San Diego Padres had acquired Blake Snell from the Tampa Bay Rays, and this episode will be dedicated fully to that trade. We'll have some analysis. I'll give you my thoughts, my opinions, and what I believe this means for the Yankees, the Rays, and obviously the San Diego Padres. And to add another caveat to that, the LA Dodgers, what this means to them, and the possibility of them repeating once again as AL West division champions. So it broke out. The news broke last night. Jeff Passan released a Passan bomb, as people say it on Twitter. He announced that the Padres had acquired Blake Snell from the Rays for Luis Patino, Francisco Mejia. What's the other guy's name? I forgot. Blake Hunt, catching prospect, as well as somebody by the name of Wilcox. I forgot a first name, but last name Wilcox. So the Tampa Bay Rays traded away their best pitcher, the guy who pitched Game 6 of the World Series not too long ago, and they traded him away to a potential now powerhouse in the National League, and especially in the National League West, the San Diego Padres. And wow, when I heard about this trade, when I got the notification last night on Twitter from Jeff Passan that this trade happened, I was shocked. I was stunned. I didn't believe, even though I knew that the Rays were shopping Blake Snell, I never thought they would actually trade him. I thought that they would keep him on board for the next 2 seasons because that's all he had left on his contract with the Rays. I thought they were going to keep him. I thought that because they won the AL East last season, they beat the Yankees in the ALDS and made it all the way to the World Series, primarily because of him, that, they were going to keep him. They were going to keep him, make another run for the World Series in 2021, make another run at winning the AL East again in 2021. But hey, I was wrong and it didn't happen. And now Blake Snell will be pitching for the San Diego Padres and that fan base, which has to be electric right now. Because, man, I tell you what, they made the move. They made probably the biggest move of this entire offseason. This is going to be bigger than Trevor Bauer signing with God knows who, even though I think he's going to the Mets. But, man, and what are the Rays thinking? What the hell are they thinking? Their team made it to the World Series last year. They were 2 wins away from winning the World Series. Yeah, Kevin Cash took out Blake Snell in Game 6 after giving up a hit to A.J. Pollock, which in the end cost him badly because his bullpen was absolutely gassed. But what the hell are they thinking? Why do you trade a guy who was lights out in the postseason, with the exception of that one game he had against the Yankees in Game 1 of the ALDS, in which he got rocked? Why would you trade a guy like that? You know what this means? It means that the Rays are not in it to win it next year. It means that now their rotation, which no longer has Charlie Morton because he signed with the Braves, and now no longer has Blake Snell because he was traded to the San Diego Padres, it pretty much means that they have no pitching. No rotation whatsoever. Are they really going to come out and say now to the press, oh, well, Luis Patino is going to be our next stud? Luis Patino pitched 17 innings in 2020. Had an ERA of 5.19. You're going to tell me now that this is going to be the next Tom Seaver of your team? The next Blake Snell, the next Chris Archer? How about the next Jake Odorizzi when he was good? The next David Price when he started out his career with the Rays? You're going to tell me this is the guy? And I mean, no disrespect to Luis Patino. He has a great arm. But are you actually telling me that you're making this trade? You are trading the 2018 Cy Young Award winner, a guy who pitched his ass off in the postseason, away to a team that right now, right now, on paper, looks like the most deadliest team in all of the National League, next to the Dodgers. Man, just thinking about it. Just thinking about it. That AL West next season, and I hope that fans are going to have the ability to go into the stands and watch these games. Because these games are going to be awesome. Two teams from California, 2.5 hours away from each other, fighting it off for the top spot in the NL West. You can't make it up. It's going to be great. But getting back to my point, you're the Tampa Bay Rays. You're trading away your 2018 Cy Young Award winner for a kid that pitched 17 and a third innings in 2020, who had no minor league season, and who had an ERA of 5.19. I know, again, as I said, 17 and a third innings pitched. I get it. But that's not proof that the guy is going to do well. That's not proof that the guy is going to be able to strike out 15 Yankees. And don't discount the Red Sox. Their offense is still deadly. The Blue Jays, man, the Blue Jays are going to be a really, really tough team in 2021. You're putting your faith on a young kid who's never even pitched one half of a Major League Baseball season. That's who you traded your 2018 Cy Young Award winner to? Or for, rather? And now there's talks that they're going to trade Kevin Kiermaier, their all-star center fielder, the guy who makes all the flashy plays. I think the only guy in that roster, on that team, whose jersey gets sold the most at Tropicana Field. Now they're talking about trading him? Why? What's the purpose? You cannot have a situation in which you create or build a contender, and then the season that you make it all the way to the World Series and don't win, you dismantle the team. You can't do that. They did it in 08 when they lost to the Phillies, and then their team in 09 didn't make the playoffs. In 2010, they made the playoffs, won the AL East, but got bounced out in the first round of the Rangers. Then they went to the playoffs again in 2013, the wild card game against the Orioles. They lost. Come on. If you're a Rays fan, first of all, if you're a Rays fan, God bless you, okay? I don't know how the hell you could support a team that really, when you come to think about it, doesn't give a damn about the fans. They have their team play in a crappy building, and one of the worst parts of, and no disrespect to anybody who lives there, and one of the worst parts of Central Florida. Come on. If you're a Rays fan, how do you support this team? How do you support this front office? Ownership. It's unfair to you. Unfair to you because you're the one who sits on the couch every night. During COVID, of course. I don't know if you went to the ballpark without COVID. But you were the one last season who sat every night on your couch to watch this team play. And they weren't bad. I still believe that if it were a 162-game season instead of a 60-game season like we had last year, that they were not going to win the AL East. I thought the Yankees were too good. In a full 162-game season, the Yankees beat the Rays in the AL East. Hands on. But how the hell can you support this team? Do you understand what they just did? They basically told you Screw it. You support this team, great. You spend your money on this team, fantastic. But this is what we're going to do. This is what they're telling you. We're going to build a contender. We're going to go to the World Series like we did in 2008. And then we're going to dismantle the team. We're going to rebuild again. Which means that for the next 3, 4, maybe 5 seasons, you won't go to the playoffs. And your team will be a bottom feeder in the AL East. That's pretty much what they're telling you. How are you okay with that? And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about the Padres. The Padres right now, and I know that coming into this offseason, many people said, well, they're going to be in play for Trevor Bauer. A lot of people said that. And I know that his agent, Rachel Luba, who's a great follow, by the way, so follow her on Twitter or Instagram. She's gone on the record and said that Trevor is willing to listen to any offer from any team. He will accept whatever offer is offered that is the best offer. She said that. But this trade, the Padres made this trade for the sole purpose of not getting Trevor Bauer. They are not going to sign Trevor Bauer now. This trade was meant for that. If their plan was to get Trevor Bauer, they were not going to trade for Blake Snell. They would not have given up the prospects that they gave up for for Blake Snell. Pardon. They wouldn't have done it. And they did. Now guess what? Right now, in the NL, in the entire NL, the Padres right now, this season, their rotation is going to be solid. But next season, 2022, when they get Mike Clevenger back from Tommy John, man, their rotation is going to be sick. Sick. They're going to have guys like Chris Paddock, Blake Snell, Mike Clevenger, Dinelson Lamet. Come on. 5 hard-throwing pitchers in one rotation. I still think that, as of right now, the Dodgers have the best rotation. With Kershaw, Buehler, and now with this new kid, Dustin May, who was awesome in the postseason. I still think they have the best rotation. But that could change. 2021 could prove a lot. 2022 is for sure going to prove a lot more. But folks, I don't get it. I'm a Yankee fan. If the Yankees traded away Luis Severino, who I still have a lot of faith in, if they traded away Luis Severino for some B prospects to God knows what team, I'd be pissed. I would be super pissed. Because I wouldn't understand the logic in that move. Listen, I love baseball. Baseball is one of the biggest loves of my life. I love the game. I love everything about it. As a baseball fan, I don't understand this move. Just like I don't understand how now you're going to go out and say, well, we're looking to trade Kevin Kiermaier also. So going into next season, assuming that you trade Kevin Kiermaier away, you're going to have a awful starting rotation. Tyler Glasnow will be the only ace in that rotation. And if you're going to tell me that the Rays are going to accumulate 85 to 90 wins while pitching the bullpen 4 days in a row while Tyler Glasnow pitches that 5th day, you're out of your damn mind if you think that. And if you're going to tell me that when they trade a guy like Kevin Kiermaier away, that their offense is going to be as lights out as it was in 2020 and even in 2019, I'd still say you're out of your damn mind. Who are you going to replace Kevin Kiermaier with? Just like they were never able to replace Tommy Pham when they also, and ironically enough, Tommy Pham was traded to the San Diego Padres. Tell me. I just don't get it, folks. I don't. I don't understand the logic behind all of this. I guess that, and I know it's a wait to see type of moment. But Jesus Christ, I mean, this team made it to the World Series in 2020. They were 2 wins away. Two. Dos. 2 wins away from winning the whole damn thing. And the guy who had probably the best performance in Rays World Series history, Blake Snell, got traded away. He had 2 years, $39 million left in his contract. And if you're going to tell me that the reason why the Rays traded him away was because of those $39 million, then guess what? If they can't afford $39 million for a pitcher, whoever owns the Rays shouldn't be owning the team. I'm sorry. I'm being dead honest. If you can afford to buy a baseball team, to maintain a baseball team for 20 years, 20 plus years, like you have the ability of paying $39 million. The issue is, you choose not to. My mind is boggled. And I do apologize if I'm getting all hyped up about this, but as a baseball fan, as someone who's a Yankee fan, and I'm going to be honest with you, the last thing I want, and believe me, I want my Yankees to win the AL East every season. But I like competition, okay? I don't like to win the AL East easily. I like to do things with some competition. I, for some ironic reason, still have hope that we'll have the same AL East type of battle with either the Rays or the Red Sox or even the Blue Jays, like we did in 04 with Boston, in 03, 06, 07, 09, and even 2018 when Boston won it all. Those games were tight. Those games were entertaining. Those were must-see games because you knew that both teams were fighting for something. They were fighting for the AL East crown. But folks, for the love of God, if you're a Rays fan, you cannot sit here and tell me, and I want you to tell me, comment down below your thoughts about this trade. But you cannot tell me that you're okay with this move. How could you be okay with this move? How could you be okay with the fact that the Rays pretty much handed the Yankees or the Blue Jays the AL East? That's pretty much what they did. How are you going to tell me that's fine? How are you going to tell me that, oh, well, we'll have Patino and a few more years, he is going to come up, he's going to rake, Will Cox is gonna come up and hit, and so will Blake Hunt. No. You play to win now. The Rays are not a team that has an all-veteran roster, okay? They're a team that has loads of talent. Talent in the big leagues, talent in the minor leagues. They had no reason to restock. They had no reason to trade away Blake Snell. Just like they had no reason to trade away Tommy Pham. They had zero reason. And if you're going to come up to me and say, well, they had to do it, guess what? And pardon my language, I think you're full of shit if you're going to tell me that. I talked about earlier about how this trade would make the the NL West a lot more tougher for the Dodgers. And that's a fact. I still believe in my heart, even though I kind of texted jokingly to my brother-in-law, who's a big Dodgers fan, who lives in Southern California. I texted him and I jokingly said, well, the San Diego Padres are going to win the NL West in 2021. And, he started getting on my case about, all my predictions are wrong and blah, 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 blah. Because I picked the Yankees to beat the Dodgers in the World Series last year, like I've had for the past 3 seasons, but I've been wrong, obviously. So, he got on my case about that. But honestly, I do feel that the Dodgers will win the West in 2021, but it's not going to be easy. It sure as hell isn't going to be easy now. And especially that there's reports saying that the Padres are going to try to trade for Yu Darvish, which would be another big move for them. Because it would really lock up their rotation 1 through 5 for 2021 and next season, 2022. So, that would be an awesome move. But in the first episode of my podcast, I talked about the White Sox and when they acquired Lance Lynn and how the White Sox are now, in my opinion, not only on paper, but when the season starts, I talked about how they're going to be the next powerhouse in the AL Central. And I still believe that. But now, with this conundrum that we have of these two really super teams, and the fact that not only the Padres solidified their pitching, but also solidified their infield, signing this Korean superstar shortstop, which eventually, in my opinion, is going to lead to Fernando Tatis's trade, because I don't think you're going to move the guy to second base, but that's just me. But with this move that they've made, not only with the Snell, but with the signing of the shortstop Kim from Korea, you have two powerhouses, two powerhouse teams in the NL West. The LA Dodgers, the defending champs, with guys like Mookie Betts, Cody Bellinger, Kike Hernandez, Jock Peterson, Beatty, the catcher Will Smith, their pitching rotation, Kershaw, Buehler, May, their bullpen, man. And then you look at a team like the Padres, Machado, Tatis, TBD, Eric Hosmer, okay? You have this pitching rotation now that consists of Snell, Paddock, Lamet, and what's the other kid I'm missing? Well, I'm missing another guy. You let me know in the comments down below. And put together their bullpen. You have two great powerhouse teams in the NL West now. I would not be surprised if the Padres won the West in 2021. But I also wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers won the West in 2021 and the Padres made the wild card round. There is no way in hell that the Padres are not going to go to the World. Excuse me. Wow, I'm sorry. There is no way in hell that the Padres are not going to make the postseason next season. And if they do, it has to be because of some catastrophic event. God forbid. Okay? But this Padres team, they're going to be great next season. They're going to steamroll the bottom feeders of the NL West. The Rockies, the Diamondbacks. They're going to steamroll those teams. Okay? It's going to be fun to watch the Dodgers and the Padres play each other 21 times throughout the season. If indeed we do have a full 162 game season in 2021. It'll be fun. It'll be must-see TV. And I will tell you what. I don't care that I'm from New York. And I don't care that there's a 3-hour difference between New York and California. I will sit in my couch or in my wheelchair and I will watch all those games that they play together. Whether they play it at Petco Park or they play it in Dodger Stadium. I will watch these games. Because these games, and who knows, maybe this will be the NL's version of Yankees Red Sox. Who knows? I want you all to let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts about this trade. In your opinion, do you think it was good? Or do you believe it was bad? Do you think that the Padres are now a favorite to win the NL West? And you know what? Let's go there. Do you think that the Padres right now are a favorite to win the World Series in 2021? Please let me know down below. Comment. And also stay tuned for episode 5, the episode following this one, which will be released on the same day. I will be talking about why I got into broadcasting and my advice to any people out there who are looking to get into the broadcast industry. So, thank you for watching. If you liked, listening rather, sorry, thank you for listening. If you liked this podcast, please like and also subscribe. Also, turn on the bell notification so that way you're up to date on every video that is uploaded onto my channel. Thank you for listening. I will talk to you soon. And remember, folks, stay positive.